When Yorkshire Television aired this award-winning documentary in 1977, working men's clubs were booming. But just 3 decades later, they're in danger of disappearing forever. This is the latest working men's club to close its doors here at Ecclesfield in North Sheffield, shutting its doors after almost 90 years in existence. It brings to more than 50 the number of clubs which have closed already this year. It's a familiar story of a culture that's disappearing. In 1977, there were around 4,200 working men's clubs in the UK affiliated to the Club and Institute Union, the CIU. Now there are less than half that, around 2,000, and clubs are closing every week. And it's not difficult to see why. Many of the clubs were based in heavy industrial areas, but huge job losses and less spending power in those areas has had a dramatic effect on local business. There are also other key factors: the smoking ban, cheap supermarket alcohol, changing tastes in entertainment with more people preferring to stay at home, and often poor management and the refusal of club officials to change with the times.
Most of the clubs are like dinosaurs and they refuse to change. They've got to have kids raffle at such and such a time, at bingo goes on at this time. Plus, I think there's still a little bit of, you can't sit there, Fred and Elsie sit there every Saturday night. And youngsters aren't going to put up with that.
For joiner David Steer, it's heartbreaking having to board up the club where he spent many happy times.
A lot of people used to know everybody in this place. In its heyday, really busy, very popular club. Really sad time for us all in Ecclesfield.
And here you are boarding it up.
I know, it makes me feel a bit even more sad in a way, you know, that I'm boarding up where I used to come and sit with my dad and sit with all different people. Just sad times.
So is this the right moment to call time on these working class institutions? And do the clubs still have a place in a modern society? Club singer Andy Gale on stage at the Onewell Working Men's Club near Barnsley. Andy's livelihood as a singer depends on the clubs, and he's passionate about saving them.
If you're singing up in North East, around Newcastle, Middlesbrough, absolutely packed out 4 or 5 nights a week. It's the same in Manchester, around Blackburn, around Lancashire way. You kind of like come this side, around Leeds, Sheffield, Rotherham, Barnsley, Doncaster, Chesterfield, Nottingham, then you do tend to see that the audiences aren't nowhere near as big as what they are elsewhere in country.
The message is clear and simple: change or die.
Different culture today. There's everything else, DVDs, computers.
Live groups, dancing, things like that, because you can't get that at home.
Tomorrow night, the fight back. How some clubs are beating the threat of closure, and more on the growing campaign to preserve a way of life.
I don't think they've had their day. Some maybe we have to say goodbye to if they can't change, but I think with adaptation they could be great focal points for communities again.